You ever have like a really bad week? I'm talking like a really bad week. Pull the pin on this thing bad week.
Not apologetic.
Nonsense.
In the middle of the night, I wake up just puddle of sweat, right? And as soon as I plant my feet down on the floor, they're in water. And I'm not talking like somebody spilled a glass of water and my socks are a little wet. I'm talking like, let's throw a pole in this joint wet, you know? I get up, of course, it's all dark. I squish to the other side of the room to the light switch. I turn the light switch on and the room is foggy, right? It's just steam. I mean, you can barely see inside of it. It's a sauna in there. So just right off the bat, I went, boom, hot water heater, right? What else is going to produce steam, heat, in the middle of the summertime? So as luck would have it, my hot water heater is in my wall in my bedroom, okay? I turn the light on, it's all steam. I walk over to the closet, just squish, 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 squish. I have a big closet, right? It's not quite a walk-in, but it's big, you know? So I open the closet door and I step in, and then I see to my side, here's the wall panel where the hot water heater is behind. I see the wall is sogged out and there's just a stream of water coming out, steam, the whole nine. Obviously something's gone wrong with the hot water heater. I panic. I run to the other side of the house to hit the water shut off. Just squish, 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 squish. I start pulling everything out of the closet. You know, like I say, it's a large closet. You know, it's completely full of clothes. I'm one of them people, like, I hang everything up. My jackets are hung up. You know, my pants are hung up, all of that. Go ahead and I pull everything out. And underneath where the clothes sit, I have just boxes and boxes of stuff. So I'm pulling everything out. Now, bear in mind, the stream is stopping now because, you know, the water source is shut off. Eventually, I can get to that wall that's now just sogged out and just mush. But, you know, I go ahead, pull out a drill, and get the wall taken off. And I see the line where the water comes in and is feeding the hot water heater. And it had split out. It was no doubt there when I got this place. I start assessing the damage, okay? Like I say, it's completely flooded. This wall right here, this shares into my bedroom. So my bedroom is on, well, technically my bathroom is on the other side of this wall into my bedroom. There's water coming underneath the walls here. There's water everywhere. So I'm trying to find dry places I can put these piles of wet clothes, wet pillows, blankets that were up on the top. So I'm laying tarps down, trash bags, so I can start these mountains of wet clothes. And all the boxes in the bottom were like stuff from my past. So the boxes were sogged out. I go to try to move them and pick them up, and just 100 items hit the floor. And it's just an absolute mess. Lucky enough, I have them, I don't know what you call them. They're like squirrel cage fans. They're like shop fans. They're probably about this big. So I wind up having 3 of those, and then also several other fans. So after I moved everything, I set up fans. Obviously, I can't hit everywhere. I set up fans, and I'm not just talking about the floor. I'm talking about on the walls. So eventually, I go back to sleep. And of course, I wake up to this gross mess. Now, the plumbing part of it was nothing, you know. I ordered the parts. I had like same day Walmart delivery, right? And I just, you know, cut the lines, replaced it. I put in a shut off to where if something like this does happen, I'm not out water the whole time to the whole house. So that was easy, you know, to get it back. But then I just had this mess. And this has been going on a little over a week, right? So I have to wash all of the clothes. And because that was that old steel line, you know, that the water was coming out of, a lot of it wasn't like clear water. It was like tinted orange. So anything like gray or white or khaki was pretty well ruined. And then, like I say, going through all of the boxes, and while I was rushing to try to get that wall off, I knocked down these, they're like stackable chest of drawers, you know, like plastic ones. Knocked those down, just stuff everywhere. I was like extreme hoarder, right? So I had a hallway from the bedroom door to my, just like a pathway from the bedroom door to my bed, and then a secondary path from my bed to the bathroom. You ever like your house gets dirty or cluttered and for whatever reason you have to step over something, and then after like a week of not handling it, it just becomes like a part of the house? That's kind of what I've been living in. Like I had to pull a bunch of the stuff into the bathroom. So it's like them plastic like totes, you know, them big containers. So I've had 2 of those right in my bathroom door that you got to completely step over, and it's almost like it just becomes a part of the house. So every day I've been spending, you know, so long on it. I had to replace some of the drywall. I had to pull up some carpet. And it wasn't until yesterday that I finally got everything back to like a livable state, right? That just wasn't like embarrassingly disgusting or gross or, you know, and besides that, it took probably 4 days to dry up the floors and the walls with them fans, because I had those 3 fans, probably another 3 regular fans, and then I'd have to rotate where they're at. You know, these are in this quadrant, and then I move them over to here. And then I had built up, because of like all the wet clothes and everything, such like a moist and humid environment. And I live in the country and also like in the woods. So the daddy long legs came in, right? Which I don't really have a problem with because they kill the brown recluses, things like that. So if I see a random daddy long leg on the wall, or I just leave them alone, you know. But this got bananas in my bathroom. So like the other day I look up and on the ceiling, I'm showering, and on the ceiling there were 13 daddy long legs just hanging out up there, no doubt plotting on me. So I've had to, of course, do away with all of them. I just basically take a handful, throw them in the toilet, down she goes, you know. So yeah, I've had to, like I say, shampoo all of the carpets, you know, everything that didn't get replaced. So it was a complete flood. And like I say, it was into here. This is the wall. I had to push everything forward. Carpet had to be pulled up back here. Luckily, I was able to save it. And then everything dried out, you know, and it winded up being like a push-pull through the walls. Like fans on one side would push water this way. Fans on this side would push it the other way. I was taking pieces of drywall off to see if there's damage internally, you know, to any of the studs. It's been a mess. It's kind of the way it works when you own, right? Like there's no one for me to call, you know, and I'm damn sure not going to call a plumber to do a job that I can do. You know, like I say, that was the easy part of it. I should have replaced that line when I first moved in here, because I winded up replumbing almost the entire thing. But that's what sucks about it being inside the wall, right? I'm sure it started as a little leak, and that's where I was getting steam from, you know. That's why it was so hot in the bedroom. And then that leak has just grown and grown until, I mean, this was just a geyser fountain, and it was scorching hot water. Finally to a livable state. I was so embarrassed to have someone in my bedroom because that flood did so much damage at one point that it looked like I hadn't taken care of my home in months or a year. Like I said, it looked full on hoarder, especially with the wet clothes. Because like, what do you even do with that? You wash them, but you wash them, you know, 8 to 10 things at a time. And I'm one of them people who I buy more clothes than I can ever wear. You know, like today I got a shipment in, it was Echo. So Echo was doing a 50% off sale. So I wait for those. Like I grabbed 2 pairs of shirts and a short. 2 pairs of shirts and a pair of shorts. Anyways, you know what I mean. So I'm constantly doing that, whether it's Into the AM doing sales, whether it's Echo, South Pole, like brands that I think are just too much money. I wait for them hardcore flash sales. So I just have so much stuff. I got lucky though, because I had so much new stuff. Like, you ever get a t-shirt in the mail and it comes in like them clear plastic bags that are kind of sealed, you know? So that saved a lot of like lighter color shirts, but a lot of stuff I'd never worn, it just got thrown away. It's just getting put out into the burn pile basically, which really sucks. I mean, I guess it could have been a lot worse. I could have had structural issues, and I guess if I didn't get on top of it as quick as I did, even though I was technically late to the party, I don't know what would have happened, but now I'm terrified it's just going to happen again because the hot water heater is technically in the wall. I hate that. That is just retarded. I was going to leave the panel off of it, but that thing produces so much heat. You know, you got to insulate the pipes. You got to put I don't remember what they call it. They call it like a sweater or something. You put an insulation sleeve around the actual tank itself, you know, and it's still radiating heat 15 foot from where I sleep, you know. So I waited several days, and by several days, I mean like a week after I did the repair, to make sure there was no little leak, no drip, no drop, no nothing. And then I went ahead and, I had to get another piece of drywall, went ahead and put that back up. But finally, we are back to where we were, and that's a big reason why, like, Thomas hasn't been out here. Body Bag, even for him to pop in and record, he wouldn't have cared. But I just didn't want anyone in the house with everything just that messed up. So, yeah, maybe this will make you feel better about your week. Because I'll tell you, watching that show, Hoarders, I can remember I used to watch it, and it was because it always made me feel better about my situation. Because I'd be like, oh, I don't live in the nicest house, or I don't make the most money, whatever. And I'd watch that and I'd be like, holy shit, at least I'm not them. It can get a lot worse, as, a story like this or a show like that can tell you. But yeah, it's been that kind of week with me. When it rains, it pours, and in my situation, I guess it floods. Have a good night.
Non-apologetic
Nonsense.